there's usually a faculty meeting and there's usually a subject teachers meeting, and you can participate, you can get to know them and build up some common ground and share ideas. Okay? Okay. Poor quality of supplementary readers and study guide. Actually, I would really like to see that. That was one of my dreams, and I did something many years ago. Writing supplementary readers using the vocabulary given. There's a list of 2,000 words and 1,200 words that junior high school students are supposed to know. And many years ago, when we only had one set of textbooks, I would use the vocabulary from a textbook to write stories for children. Because if they only see this word in this textbook on this page, they will only recognize the word there. They need to see the word elsewhere. So how can we give them opportunity to see words elsewhere? We can write the stories for them using the words they already know. That will give them some kind of recycling of the vocabulary. You can say, well, there's so many trade books, there's so many picture books, storybooks. Why bother with writing your own? Well, with trade books, storybooks, they might feel frustrated because there's so many words that they have never seen. But if we can write stories using the words they know, when they ask you, what does this word mean, you can say, well, I know you learned it. I know it's in your grade 5 textbook, so go find out. Then they will feel like it's not like when they see English passage, they'll just have a filter. They will know that these are all the words they know. Yes?
I'm sorry. I love that comment. It's something that I can't think of the author that I studied, books I study right now.
Stephen Krashen.
Not Krashen, no.
Okay.
It was a different time. He was either from New Zealand or Australia, I can't remember. But it's very common, just because if anyone doesn't know it, it's worth keeping in mind. In textbooks, one thing that I found at least at elementary level, and probably junior high, but definitely where it sticks out, is thinking about reader level and the percentage that students should be able to understand, and basically when they're reading at a level of frustration. So if you want your students to be able to really read it at 95% level, all the words that they're reading should be recognizable. Otherwise, they're getting at a level where they're basically going to give up. And if that makes sense for a lot of us, if we can think about learning another language. So like this kind of thing, we're using vocabulary that they have, or even going through the textbook, and you see when you're working with your co-teacher, and you can say, this is not a bad story, but is this realistic for our students? And maybe you can find different material, or just perhaps persuade them to skip that and focus, maybe pick some keywords out and use them in a different context or something. So, like you're saying, textbooks aren't always.
Okay, so supplement it with something else is important, or rewrite it is also a good idea. I think the basic idea of having a textbook is to learn the vocabulary. If you could reorganize the vocabulary, put it in a different context, they still learn the words, right? In a different context, right? So, there are a lot of things that need to be worked on. Here's a sample article. Tell me what you think of this article. This is a junior high school textbook. You see any problem with this article? Awkward. What is awkward? Right. Right.
However, it does look like the students genuinely trying and genuinely engaged with this topic. I mean, although it is again awkward,
It's grammatically correct, but it's just not. When I first saw this, I teacher made you do this, your teacher had you do this, you don't want to. And teachers are not aware of this tone, right? Do you feel that way? Like the teacher had us learn a lesson and made us do something like I don't want to, right? Sometimes teachers don't know there's this connotation. The textbook writers don't know there's this connotation, right? Okay. And but you know, teachers can develop a very creative lesson based on this unit by showing the London Eye, going through Google Map to see what London is like, showing a video, and so students would really want to go to London and see it, and they will probably go home and check more pictures or videos of London. That is motivation. And we're talking about the new curriculum. It has to be relevant to students' lives. So teachers will turn this into, let's Google our city. Let's find out one tourist spot in Taiwan that you want to introduce to other people. So you turn this into something that's meaningful to you. You localize it, right? We would expect teachers to be able to do that. This is just one lesson, but a springboard to another lesson that's relevant to your daily life, right? So yes, the language is not good. We can certainly fix it. I don't like this one either. When I first saw this, I was like, who would want to read something like that? Okay. English proficiency test. Well, a lot of cities are developing their own proficiency tests because all the city, county education bureaus are so eager to find out where their students' English proficiencies are. So they will develop their own tests. The purpose is to assess the effectiveness of English instruction, to identify those in need of remedial teaching. Right? But too many tests really takes away the motivation, takes away the fun of learning.
I'm just curious, why does Taiwan take a decentralized approach to education? Because, I mean, it goes hand in hand with what you talked about earlier before the textbooks were all the one, and that's a challenge I ran into. I worked at 5 schools last year, and I had 13 different books that I had to write lesson plans for. It was just a nightmare for time, and then you see this where the counties are going to have to make their own tests. It's an interesting decision.
They don't have to, but they all want to prove that they have a way to measure their students' progress. It's just an open, democratic society that you don't want to have a centralized curriculum. In the past, when I was doing my teaching or student teaching, you can guarantee on Monday the 13th, when you go to any school in Taiwan, all grade 7 classes are doing the same thing. Is that a good thing? Maybe not. But at least the textbooks were developed by a group of scholars working with the Center of Compilation and Translation, and it's the canonical, authoritative version of a textbook. Now it's not. The good thing is you have different topics coming out, and the publishers are competing, so they all want to do a good job. They want to be creative, and so there's some different things going on. And
have there been any longitudinal studies to actually verify that it's been a better decision to use these different textbooks and tutors? Like, has the quality of the students' output actually been achieved in doing this?
Okay.
The purpose.
All right. The quality of students' achievement. We can see students are much better they feel more comfortable speaking and listening and using English, but it's not because of the textbook. It's because of the multimedia that's incorporated into teaching and learning. There's audio and visual material that come along with the textbook. And there's an emphasis of teaching English in English, using more English. And there's an emphasis of doing task-based activity. There are activities that you send students out to interview people or that kind of project. In general, I think students' English language proficiency improved in speaking and listening, but not in reading and writing. Like when we were students, the only mode to learn English was through reading and writing. So we spent a lot of time polishing our language. The teacher worked on that, but now people seem to believe that being able to communicate, speaking and listening is more important. So this oral approach, people do feel more comfortable speaking English, but that doesn't mean their overall proficiency, the general proficiency is much better. My English major student still make a lot of sloppy mistakes that really, I try to ignore them, but I can't. Because they're so basic that you have to point out, because they're going to become teachers. You just can't let them go by. Alright, so that's the problem, English majors. Right? Something that really bothered me was like, the fourth point, F-O-U-R, become F-O-R-T-H. I was like, well, this is elementary stuff, right? Anyway, okay, I just said that remedial instruction was a big thing in education. Okay, anxiety. Parents, students, teachers all feel anxious. And the test format, basically paper and pencil. Frustration, struggling learners. And there's room for improvement on the test. And a lot of this tells you we have what do we call that? Competency test for junior high school graduate. Before they enter senior high school, they have to take this test. This table shows that these are the percentage of people who fail the test. They need remedial instruction. 33%, about 1/3 of the students taking English test fail. For Chinese, 17%. For social science, 19%. So this is math, this is English. Math and English, 1/3 of the students need remedial instruction. This is natural science. So that is a serious problem. That's why we have a special remedial program for English and math to help these people who are really falling behind. And this is the test. It's not easy. This is the reading comprehension article. Read through it quickly. This is for junior high graduate.
Okay, so anyone volunteer to read it?
No, just read it.
Yeah,
You want to read it out loud?
Yeah, that's exactly what I read it.
These churches are in a calamitous state. To start with, the number of churchgoers is dropping sharply. See figure 1. Many say they do not belong to any church, and those who do go less often than they used to.
Figure 1. No, just read. We'll listen.
Going to church appears less and less on people's to-do list. Another worrying fact is that fewer and fewer young people go to church, which leads to an older church. See figure 2. And there is also a problem with money. Keeping a church door open is not cheap. Fewer people go to church means little money coming in. This makes it harder to keep a church open. When the time comes for a church to close, there is little to do but to sell it. Churches that were lucky enough to find a buyer will put to other uses. Some were changed to restaurants or school gyms, and some even became nightclubs, for example. Churches that had little luck were knocked down in the end. Just like a store that keeps losing business needs to think of ways to save itself, it is perhaps time for the church to try and win people's hearts back and play an important part in people's lives again. This is not something that one can simply pray to get an answer to.
So this is the kind of test. It's not easy, right? The questions are, what does it mean when somebody is in a calamitous state? Calamitous is definitely not in junior high school vocabulary. Guessing words in context is a strategy we want to teach our students. So this is a question on guessing words from context. Right? What can we learn about the churchgoers from the report? None of these sentences are taken directly from the passage. And what is talked about in the report? All the answers have something about church. So if you just know that it's about church, that's not enough. You have to know that it's about why people stop going to church, right? Right? So all these distractors are very strong. So you really need to know what the article is talking about. It's not easy. The textbooks don't focus on this, right? And this is even more difficult. This is, if you know Bloom's taxonomy, this is application. You read the article, but these are 4 other reports. Which one does not agree with the idea?
Yeah, I didn't even
Huh?
I said I couldn't really expect a kid to read these. I didn't even read
Right.
4 choices.
Right. See, this is a long item. Right? The 4 choices are very long, and you have to think which one matched, which one doesn't match the content. We're testing the high-level reading proficiency, not just extracting messages from the article. It's really applying what you learn from the article. Sometimes they will tell you, based on this article, which of the 4 graphs is correct. So turning words into visual tables and figures, right? So we really need to. This is junior high school. So if you're in elementary school, you don't have to worry about it. But in elementary school, they already talk about figures and charts in Chinese. And how we transfer that skills of reading tables and charts into English is something that we need to help our students transfer the skills. Okay, so the entrance exam to senior high school is not easy. Well, not all the questions are like this, but there are questions like this. Okay, publish or prepare tests. Well, sometimes teachers are so busy that they don't have time to write tests for their students. They rely on publishers. Publishers don't write good tests. And teachers kind of count on the publishers to give them their monthly test or the final exams. Is this a good test?
Everyone, choose the best answer, A, B, C, or D. C, any topic C.
I could see A if it's like self-reflective.
Right. I think it is such a stupid thing. Do I?
Yeah.
Right? That's possible, right?
Yeah.
Do I really think so? Do you really think that I think so? Right? I don't think he did such a stupid thing. Oh, that's definitely wrong, right? See, I don't think he did such a stupid thing. Did he?
And then that's like reflecting towards his action himself. Either A or C could be correct.
Right. Teachers don't do this kind of discussion with students. They'll just say, grammatically, this is the only thing that's correct. And this is not the norm, right? The norm is here and here. So a lot of students will choose A because they learn if this is